Okay, so the first thing we want to learn about is what is a system of linear equations? System of linear equations. Okay, so underneath this, I'm going to write down the definition, and it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be, in our case, two linear equations with the same variables. Okay, and that'll work next year for you also when you review this again or revisit it in Algebra 1. So two linear equations with the same variables, usually going to be x and y, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is what a solution to a system is. Solution to a system. So since we're talking about two separate equations, we're going to have two variables. So we're going to just say an xy pair that is true. I'll talk about what being true is in a bit for both equations. So go ahead and write that down. Okay, so our task today, both on these notes and on the IXL we're going to do, is to determine if the XY pair is a solution to the system. Okay. Go ahead and write that down. And it's going to go down like this. So you're going to be given a possible solution. We'll start with a simple one like 1 comma 1. And then a system. And a system, all it is two equations that graph lines. So it could be in standard form like this, or it could be in slope-intercept form like that. So it's always either one of those. So we're going to have a couple that are standard form equations. So 8x plus y equals 9. That's going to be our first equation. The second equation, we'll do 6x plus 12y equals 18. Okay? Go ahead and write those down. All right. So let's see if we have a solution here. What I'm going to do is, remembering that this is my x coordinate, this is my y coordinate, I'm going to go ahead and substitute 1 and 1 for x and y. Okay? So it's just going to be about evaluating. And we've done a lot of evaluating. So here we go. So I got 8x, which means 8 times x. So in this case, it's going to be 8 times 1, because I'm replacing x with 1. And then plus y. So I'm going to replace y with 1 as well, because that's what we're checking. And we're going to see if that equals 9. Then we're going to just do the same thing for the second one. 6x, so we're going to do 6 times 1 plus 12y, so we're going to change that to 12 times 1. And we're going to see if that equals 18. Now what we're going to want for this to be a solution, both of these have to come up true. So I can already see the first one's going to be true, right? Because 8 times 1 is 8, right? So this becomes, I just simplify, multiply the 8 times 1, I get 8, then plus 1, and then I'm going to check and see if that's 9. It's 9, right? 8 plus 1 is 9. So that's true. If it's true, we can go on to the second one and check if that's true. So let's do the same thing. We're going to multiply 6 times 1 plus 12 times 1, and we're going to see if that's 18. And 6 plus 12 is 18. So if both of them turn out to be true, we have a solution. Both of them have to be true. If either one was false, then we wouldn't have a solution. So for this one, I'm going to say 1, 1 is a solution. Actually, the solution, not, it's the only solution. Because what's going to happen if I graph these, both lines are going to meet at the location 1, 1. And they're never going to meet again. So it's the only spot where it's a solution. Okay? Any questions? Let's try a few more. I think we'll introduce a negative coordinate. -2, 3. Let's try that. And our system is going to be x equals -2. Remember, if we graph that, it makes a vertical line. And then 2x plus 3y equals 6. Okay? So let's start checking to see if this is a solution. This is the check. X is -2. Y is 3. So now we're going to replace x and y with -2 and 3. Let's do this. So we're going to have x, but instead of x, I have -2. And that's going to equal -2. Okay? So I got -2 equals -2. Is that true? Right away, we get a true statement. Simple one. Let's do the next one. We got 2x, but this is going to be, what am I going to replace here for x? -2. The math here, as long as you're good with positives and negatives, it'll be easy. Instead of 3 times y, I'm going to put 3 times -3. Because, I'm sorry, +3. My mistake. That's +3. So I have 3 times 3, and I want to see if all of that equals 6. Okay. So I'm not quite sure yet. Got to do a little more work. So what's 2 times -2? -4. So I'm going to do -4 plus, I know 3 times 3 is 9. And I want to see if this equals 6. No. -4 plus 9 is actually +5. So I have 5 equals 6. And that's not true. Okay, so the first one worked, the second equation didn't. All we need is one of the two not to work for us to say it's not a solution. So that's what we're going to say. Negative 2, 3 is not a solution. So because I know these lines aren't parallel, eventually they'll meet somewhere. So there is a solution. It's just not negative 2, 3. Okay. Tomorrow we'll start figuring out how to solve these. All right. Today we're just checking to see if they are or not. Okay, we got two more. I want to give you some more possibilities. So far, all the equations we've been working with are standard form equations. Okay, that's these. Now we're going to play around with some slope-intercept equations. Okay, so number 3. Here we go. So we're going to check and see if negative 4 comma negative 2, we're going to see if that's a solution. Okay, and here's the equations. The first one is y equals 2x plus 6, and that's in slope-intercept form. And then y equals negative 2x minus 10. Okay? All right. So we're not graphing these. We're going to replace x with negative 4 and y with negative 2. Okay? Sure. Okay. So let's do it. So I see here it starts with y, but what number am I going to replace for y? Negative 2. So let's start with that. Negative 2 equals, I have 2x, so that's going to be 2 times negative 4, because that's what x is. And then plus 6. Okay, let's do the other one. Let's just substitute in for that. So that again is y, so it's negative 2 equals negative 2x, so that's going to be negative 2 times negative 4. And then we have take away 10. Okay. So go ahead and put that in. And here's the thing. If the first one doesn't work, you don't need to go on to the second equation and test that. Okay? The moment you get the first one not to work, you don't need to test the second one because you know there's no solution there, or that's not a solution. Okay, so let's see. I got to multiply 2 times negative 4 and then add 6. So I'm going to do that. Next step, I'm going to show my next step this way. Negative 2, that's this one, equals 2 times negative 4, so it's negative 8 plus 6. Now, go ahead and do the math. Is negative 2 equal to negative 8 plus 6? Yeah. I mean, you can figure it out later, but yeah. So that one's true. That means we have to go on to the next one. And let's do that. I'm going to bring over this negative 2. And then equals negative 2 times negative 4. Negative times a negative is positive, so this is 8. And then I have minus 10, so take away 10. So let's test this one. Is negative 2 equal to 8 take away 10? Yeah. Yeah, it's not positive 2 because you're doing it in reverse. You're taking away more than what you have. So that one's negative 2. So that means they're both true. And since they're both true, negative 4, negative 2 is the solution. I kind of forced the solution word there. All right. Last one. Okay. So try this one. 3, 9. And then we'll have another one in slope intercept form. Let's see. Let's do y equals 4x minus 5, and then y equals 3x. Okay? So give it a try. This is the x value. This is the y value. In both equations, replace x with 3 and y with 9. Okay? Give it a try. Okay, so if you substituted correctly, at this point you should have 9 equals 12, take away 5, and 9 equals 9. Obviously, the second one is true. Is the first one going to be true, you think? No. 12 take away 5 is 7. It's not 9. So even though the second one is true, the first one isn't. So we have not a solution. Solution is somewhere else. Is something else. All right. So the assignment for this is going to be an IXL. Yes.